All right, welcome back, everybody, to Madrid. And we've got a blockbuster semi-final between Coco Gauff and Iga Swiatek. Very, very interesting matchup. They haven't played... they haven't played on clay for a year, but they've played a couple of times recently, and Gauff's got the win. So let's see how they got here. So you can see there that both Gauff and Swiatek had a very tough quarterfinal matchup. Gauff lucky not to lose the first set. She came back and won the first set in after saving set points. And then, of course, Swiatek lost the first set 6-love and came back to win against Keys. So very, very interesting matchup. And then, of course, the winner of this will take on the winner of the Sabalenka-Svitolina matchup that is happening later tonight. Coco Gauff, world number 4. She's 21 years old from USA. 5'9", right-handed, 14 wins, 6 losses on the year. She has a title this year. That was, I think, the United Cup at the start of the year. 10 career titles. And her form, though, hasn't been great until this week. And Iga Swiatek, world number 2, 23 years old from Poland. She's 5'9", right-handed, 22 wins, 7 losses on the year. No titles this year, though. 22 career titles. But her form, I mean, it's been consistent, but she hasn't got any trophies in almost a year now. And it's 11-3 in favor of Swiatek, but Gauff has won the last 2 matches over the last couple of 6 months or so. So let's see if Gauff can get it on clay as well, because beating Swiatek on clay is not easy. Not many players have done it, and Coco has played Swiatek on clay a lot, and it's always been straight sets. Okay, by the way, Mensing's up a set at the moment. I think he's up a set and a break. I think. But how we doing, chat? What's going on? Are we ready? Are we ready? Osaka's losing badly? Shit, is she playing? Where's she playing? She's playing... Did she... Oh, here we go. 5-2. Okay. Okay. 2-5 down. Did you see Essendon win? Hell yeah, I did. Love it. Love it. All right. Here we go, chat. Here we go. I would be very happy if Sabalenka Swiatek, but I think it's going to be Coco versus Svitolina. Okay. It'd be cool to get a rematch. I mean, haven't Swiatek and Sabalenka played the last 2 years here? No. Who did Swiatek beat in 23? Sorry, who did Sabalenka beat in 23? Yeah, so it would be the trilogy. That's actually really... Oh, I didn't even think of that. It would be the 3rd final in a row if they both win today that they played. So Sabalenka won in 2023. Swiatek won last year, and then it would be a trilogy. That would be the Madrid, like a proper Madrid trilogy too, of finals, which would be kind of sick. And then she beat Barty in 2021, did Sabalenka. And Swiatek didn't play in 2022. In 2021, Swiatek lost 3rd round to somebody. Oh, to Barty. So yeah. So that would be kind of crazy. When was the last time we had the top 2 players in the world play each other 3 times in the same tournament? That's kind of weird. And it's one match all. I mean, it's a proper trilogy. This tournament is looking like redemption for both Coco and Iga. Yeah, I mean, if Coco wins this match, that would be huge for her. For this matchup, it would probably change a lot of things. She wins 3 matches in a row. I mean, even though it's still 11-4, I think 3 in a row really sets a tone. All right. Can you explain why 2 and 4 seeds are playing? Shouldn't it be 1 versus 2, 2 versus 3 if seeds survive? No, so that's a misconception that is often happens in tennis. I know that like in every other sport, it's always 1 versus 4 or 2 versus 3. But in tennis, the reason why that doesn't happen is because if that was the case, the draw could be rigged. So what I mean is, let's say Coco Gauff would rather play Swiatek. Sorry, she'd rather play Sabalenka than Swiatek. And she was going into like a match last week where if she'd won the match, she'd be number 3, which means she would play number 2. Or if she lost the match, she'd be number 4, which means she'd play number 1. And number 1 being Sabalenka, let's say she'd rather play her and avoid Swiatek. She could effectively, and not saying that she would, but this is just the example, she could lose on purpose to get that number 4 seed and then play against Sabalenka. So it's just to avoid anyone. No, look, I doubt anyone in the top 4 would ever try and do this, but it's just so that the number 3 and 4, it's not like, well, 3 versus 2, so that has to happen, and then, players can do funny things, right? It's just to avoid that. So they always randomize. It's 1 up the top, 2 down the bottom, and then 3 and 4 get randomly put in the draw, either side. That's the only thing. Otherwise, things players could effectively sway the results and say, well, if I lose this match and I'm number 4, it's better for me than playing It's just to avoid that confusion. Because then even if that wasn't a rule, 15-0 by the way, even if it was a rule that it was 1 versus 4, can you imagine if Gauff did lose a match that she was supposed to win and knowing that, if she wins, she's number 3 and she would have, it would just, the conspiracy theories would run wild as well. The match fixing, random, the match fixes that, people conspiracize over that shit, they would go crazy. So it's just to avoid all that crap, as well. But yeah, so that's the reasoning why we don't have 1v4, 2v3. That's like an NBA, whatever, football thing. It's not a tennis thing. They can't do it in tennis. Otherwise, it gets a little bit sketchy. Anyways, 30-15, and that goes in the net from Gauff, 40-15. I mean, look, they could, in other sports, they could do it. Obviously, they could be like, oh, well, if we finish 4, we'd rather play number 1 rather than playing number 3. There's nothing saying they can't do that in other sports. But in tennis, it's a little bit too, it's just easy to just not have it. It's easy to just make it random. All right, first serve a fault, second serve. First game of the match. Who's winning this, by the way, chat? And we're back in return now to the backhand of Swiatek. Gauff at the backhand down the line is a winner. And it's 40-30. Interesting, yep. Tennis has problems with fixing at lower levels for sure. Yeah. So they just don't want to, I don't know if it's ever been 1v4, if that was actually a thing back in the day and they changed the rule. But as far as I've been watching tennis, it's always been it could be a 1v3 situation, 2v4. It's just kind of, it's not set in stone. 40-30. There's a serve now, the forehand of Gauff. Backing out from Swiatek into the forehand of Gauff. Into the forehand of Swiatek. Gauff with the forehand. Again to the forehand of Swiatek as Gauff goes down the line for a winner and we get the deuce. Betting will ruin tennis at some point. Well, the thing is, betting's been around forever. If you're in America, if you're in some places, betting is new to you, right? Sports betting, legally, is totally new to people in America. But in Australia, sports betting has been around for 30, 40 years. It's normal here. It's been legal forever. So, and tennis is not ruined. So, betting on sports and betting on tennis has always been a thing. It's just now it's been legalized in America. So, maybe it's your first signs of seeing, people going crazy over tennis betting, but I've been watching tennis for years with it being betting, and it's been fine. Hasn't ruined the sport. As that goes out by Gauff, advantage Swiatek. I am naive. I could never tell if there is fixing going on. There is no reason for the players in the top of the top to be fixing matches. There is no purpose. But there has been a lot of cases in lower tennis because of how hard it is, and players, make bad decisions because they're doing it hard and, and not to sympathize with any of them because, they're cheating and that's not right. But yeah, at the top of the game, it'd be crazy to see anybody to try and match fix at the top of the game. That'd be insane. Anyways, a double fault. And we get to deuce. So whenever somebody says like, oh, that person's fixing, they're just salty. It's never true. They just think, oh, they lost, so they must have done on purpose because they don't like you or something. There were states in America where betting was illegal. I didn't know that. Yeah, I think like most of America was illegal, right? Like 5 years ago, sports betting in America was illegal. Or like, wasn't it, Chad? I'm pretty sure. Where are the Americans at? Enlighten us. All right, advantage Swiatek. And she says the fault, second serve. As Gauff hits it to Swiatek, and Swiatek hits a winner. And it's 1-0 Swiatek. All right. Sports betting is fairly new here in the US. Yeah. Sports betting was associated with organized crime. Fair enough. Andy Roddick said he never got approached by someone to influence a match, but some of his friends playing lower tournaments were sometimes asked to do illegal stuff. Yeah. But that's because the reason why Andy wouldn't have been asked is because Andy at a young age was a superstar, right? So like at 18, Andy Roddick was in the spotlight. So again, I don't think people would go up to him. You would think that people wouldn't go up to somebody who's so well known. They'd go to someone who's not well known because then it wouldn't be publicized if anything came out, right? So, but Andy wouldn't have been approached because he was a great junior, and after Sampras and Agassi they were about to leave, Andy was the next one in line, right? So you would think that people trying to do dodgy shit wouldn't be like, we're going to talk to the guy that everybody's watching. They'd go to the guys that not many people are watching to try and influence, right? And probably Andy had, I don't know, maybe he had endorsements already, so they probably thought he probably doesn't need. He doesn't need. There's nothing they could offer him. Whereas some of the younger players that aren't, top of the world with sponsors and shit at a young age, probably, would be more swayed. But again, it's always a lower level thing because they're the ones that are the ones that financially they're the ones that need struggle, right? And they're the ones that could be persuaded. But thankfully we don't hear much about it. Usually we don't hear much about it at all. It does happen, but it's not definitely not a top level thing. You always hear about someone who's like 500 in the world, got banned for life, or something. Anyway, it's 15-0. Gauff trying to hold. It's a long first game by Swiatek. As we return now wide by Swiatek, 30-15. $30-15. As it is served down the tee from Gauff as a fault, second serve. I just missed second serve. Into the forehand of Swiatek. Return goes long. 40-15. By the way, Mensik and Cerundolo 4-all in the second. All right, 40-15. And then an ace. All right, Gauff. Good hold. And it's 1-all. How many tattoos do you have? 3. Mensik clutch hold from Love 40. Okay. Mensik, Cerundolo both look the same. So hard to tell them apart. Yeah, they're wearing the exact same outfit. Backwards hat and all. Same colors, same clothes. It's crazy. All right. Gauff levels 1-1. Is it a fault from Swiatek, second serve? Second serve. As the return goes out by Gauff, 15 love. As we serve again. Return goes into the backhand of Gauff. Backhand of Swiatek on the stretch goes in the net. 15-all. As we serve again. Into the backhand of Gauff. Backhand of Swiatek. Into the forehand of Gauff. As Swiatek wins the point. 30-15. 30-15. Serve again from Swiatek. As the return goes into the forehand of Swiatek. Swiatek gets it wide. 30-all. 30-all. Chance for Gauff to break early again. She had a tough first game, Swiatek. $30-all. Swiatek serves. Into the forehand of Gauff. Return goes to forehand of Swiatek. Gauff with the backhand. Into the backhand of Swiatek as Gauff hits a forehand cross off the tape. Goes in. Swiatek forehand off the tape. Goes wide. 30-40. Break point. Gauff. But Chad, don't forget, we have the slow start for Swiatek. That's the thing. So here we are. We know it's a thing. All right, serve. There's a fault. Second serve. Second serve, Swiatek. Into the backhand of Gauff. Return the net. Bad return by Gauff. She knows it. That was a bad return. All right. We get the deuce. All right, serve again. There's a fault. Second serve. Second serve. Serve the back of the Gauff. Forehand now Swiatek, the front of Gauff. Swiatek slice, backhand. Goes wide, advantage Gauff. To take the early break. Advantage Gauff. Advantage Gauff. Swiatek serves. The forehand of Gauff. Return goes back to Swiatek. Go for the forehand pass. Swiatek volley. Goes wide. There's the break. All right. The break to Gauff. 2-1. Swiatek missing the backhand volley. By the way, chat, if you weren't here in the last match, I put together like a tennis talk, just like a feedback. I want to get some feedback from you guys. And I asked in the last match and it was an ATP match, but this is a WTA match. So I want to get some feedback from the WTA watchers. It's like a 5-question thing. I just want to get some feedback on going forward, what do you want to watch more of? Or what do you actually watch? I want to know more about you guys watching. I know I can see where you're from, and I ask that all the time. But I want to know, what do you watch on the channel? Do you only watch the streams? Do you watch all the videos? Do you only watch the Grand Slams? Do you only watch Swiatek? Do you only watch, do you listen to the streams? Do you watch the streams? Do you watch the match and have the stream in the background? And also any feedback, any ideas that you have. You want me to do more of something? You want me to do more Coco Gauff matches? You want me to do more Draper matches? Which seems to be a popular thing. So go check it out. Don't write in the chat because I'm not going to read it. But I'm not going to remember it. But it's only going to take you like 10 seconds to fill out the form. And it's anonymous, so I don't even know who wrote the suggestions, but some of them are funny. But yeah, I just want to know a little bit more, so then that way I can make the streams better if that's something that you watch, or if you watch other videos, then make them better, or if you don't watch other videos, then we won't do them as much. Or if you only watch certain players, then we can maybe focus on those players more. Or if you watch everybody, then we can focus a little bit on everybody again. Or we can, just give me an idea of how you guys watch the channel and what you get out of the channel. So then that way I can do more of it. Or less if you don't like things. Love 15. Go for the break 2-1. As Swiatek hits a return out. 15-0. Where do we see the form? It's right here. You click that link and it should send you to I think it's like 5 questions and they're pretty basic. And then if you want to leave feedback, if you want to give me some suggestions on things that we can do in the future, more WTA matches is definitely a popular one. Then feel free to write your feedback as well if you want. Backhand rally as Gauff hits a forehand cross court into the forehand Swiatek. And Swiatek hits it out. 30-15. 30-15. People are mostly here to socialize. Okay. One in the chat if you're only here to socialize with other people in the chat and not listen to the match, or not listen to the commentary, or you're not watching the match, you're just here to hang out with the chat. And 2 in the chat if you're here for any other reason. I'm here to listen. Okay. So most people, no one is here just to. What I'm trying to say is that do you mute my audio and not watch the matches and just type in chat? Is that all? Like, you don't listen to me, you don't watch the match, you just type. You're just talking to people in chat. Because you can do that on Discord. You don't have to do that here. You can chat to people in the Discord. You don't have to worry about me yelling and screaming over the top of you. Anyways, 3-1. I'm here to listen while I do other things. Yeah, that's what I'm interested to know as well. Like, how do you consume this content? Like, how do you watch the streams? A lot of people seem to be watching the match as well, which is cool. Which is what this is for. But, yeah, it's just I just want to get an idea so then that way I can figure out what's worth doing in the future, you know? What can I improve? How can I improve the channel in the future? All right, 3-1. Gauff with the break. Don't worry, I'm listening to you. I mean, you don't have to. There's no rule. But yeah, I'm just curious to know if if you listen to the channel, you just listen to it in the background while you're doing other things, or do you watch the match while you're listening so you can have people to talk to about the match? That's what the channel started. As Gauff, it's a lovely passing shot winner, love 15. The channel literally started because I was watching a tennis match and I went live because I was bored and I wanted to talk to somebody about the match, and a couple of people showed up. That's how the channel started. So I understand if people are here because they have no one to talk to about the matches and they want to hang out and discuss what they're watching. No. Love 15, by the way. As a serve into the forehand is a fault. Second serve. But yeah, thanks everybody who has filled out the form. Appreciate it. It's going to it will help make the channel better. There's a bit of forehand rally. Gauff down the middle as Swiatek forehand again to the forehand of Gauff. Into the forehand of Swiatek. Gauff again to the forehand of Swiatek. As Gauff hits a forehand again to the forehand of Swiatek, who hits it wide. It's love 30. Jeez. Coco is flying. All right, love 30. Chance for a double break. All right, love 30. As the return goes into the forehand, Swiatek. Gauff with a slice. Swiatek comes in with a forehand straight to Gauff, who puts up a lob. But Swiatek puts away the smash. 15-30. 15-30. Is there a serve again from Swiatek? Serving to the forehand of Gauff. Back in Swiatek is long. 15-40. What are we watching? What is going on? 15-40. Gauff to get the double break. Swiatek serves. Serving to the forehand of Gauff. Swiatek forehand goes wide. 4-1. Double break. Swiatek gets the double break. All right. There we go. What's the logo on your shirt? This is the Essendon Football Club, and we won today by 3 points. So that is what my logo on my shirt is. It is an Australian Football League team. One of the most successful in the history of the sport. If I, no. It's true. Odds for Coco winning Roland Garros. Probably the same as they were before the match started. Insane start for Gauff, yeah. Gauff's never won a set against Swiatek on clay court, too. Remember that. Wondering why Swiatek struggled against Gauff in the last couple of matches. She hasn't, though. She's won them. She's won the last couple of matches. Coco is no longer afraid of Swiatek? Yeah. Swiatek is hitting a lot of errors, though. To be fair. What is happening in this match? Swiatek, sorry, just popped in. Swiatek's making a lot of errors. And Gauff is serving really well. So Gauff serving well. And Swiatek making errors is where we're at. Okay. As we return now from Swiatek, short in the front of Gauff. Swiatek pass, Gauff volleys. A winner. 15 love. Serve again from Gauff. Is a fault, second serve. As it'll find out Swiatek on the stretch to the front of Gauff. Swiatek again to the front of Gauff, into the front of Swiatek. Hits it wide. 30 love. Serve again. There's an ace. 40 love. As Gauff holds 5-1. All right. (5-1) to Gauff. First set. (20 minutes played. Jeez. By Cerundolo and Mensik are going to a tiebreak second set. Also, Gauff, Osaka's up 5 love in the second against Parry. Sorry, 5-1. She was dead. She lost the first 6-2. What a comeback. All right, 15 love. Swiatek serving to stay in the set. She is a long way away from coming back. As we return now from Gauff into the forehand of Swiatek. Gauff gets the point, though. Swiatek in the net, 15-all. Serve again. Into the back end of Gauff. And Gauff hits it out. 30-15. (30-15). Swiatek serves again. Into the forehand of Gauff. Forehand of Swiatek to the forehand of Gauff. Swiatek again to the forehand of Gauff, but Swiatek gets it out and smacks the ball on the ground. 30-all. Swiatek is upset. 30-all. And 30 minutes played. 30-all. Serve. Into the forehand of Gauff. Return goes to the forehand of Swiatek. Down the line's good. Gauff's there, but hits it wide. 40-30. Swiatek won't win a tournament this year. That's my prediction. That's crazy. She'll win Rome. 40-30. 40-30. Serve. Into the backhand of Gauff. Return goes to the backhand of Swiatek. Gauff with a pass. Swiatek volley. Gauff with the backhand. Swiatek can't get it. And Gauff gets the deuce. Swiatek will win RG and Rome. Yeah. Yeah. Like saying Swiatek won't win a title this year is crazy because based off a tournament that she has only won once and has lost matches here before, and then Stuttgart, which is a tournament that she's the last couple of years lost to big hitters. So to base that off the last two tournaments, if she loses like this in Rome, then there's an alarm bell. That's alarm bells for me. If she doesn't play well in Rome, or she does lose to someone unexpected in Rome, for sure. But not here. I mean, Gauff winning now, yeah, it's a surprise. But also Madrid is not really the clay courts that Swiatek thrives on. As with a forehand winner by Gauff, she's got a set point advantage, Gauff. Advantage Coco. Set the first set. Advantage Gauff. Advantage Gauff. Serve. Into the forehand of Gauff. Return goes in the forehand of Swiatek, who hits a winner, and we're back to deuce. By the way, chat, I'm pretty sure we had this exact same conversation yesterday. I think the same things were being said yesterday at this stage. And, yeah. So let's just wait until the match is over before we start making claims, I think. Making bold claims about Swiatek's future. Forehand goes wide by Swiatek. Advantage Gauff to take the first set. To take the first set. Set point number 2. And to serve. There's a let by Swiatek. Are we firing the coach yet? I'm sure someone will fire the coach if this set goes down. And Swiatek serves. Into the backhand of Gauff. Backhand of Swiatek. To the backhand of Gauff. Swiatek backhand inside out. Gauff gets it on the stretch. Swiatek backhand wide. Gauff wins the first set. 6-1. Okay. First set goes to Coco. 6-1. And she's going to serve first in the second as well, Gauff. Okay. Let's see what happens next. Let's see if Swiatek can come back again. like she did against Keys. And Swiatek's going to the bathroom to regroup. Now, chat, I know that people have a problem with, bathroom breaks and stuff. I don't have a problem with it. I don't think players I think players are allowed to have a bathroom break off the first set. But look, do you think there should be a rule? And I'm not saying there should be, because I'm fine with it. But if the first set is under an hour, or if the conditions are not that tough when it's hot or anything like that, should bathroom breaks be, like first set bathroom breaks, extended bathroom breaks be allowed? I mean, players do have to get changed and stuff if they, I guess, but I don't think so. I think they should just allow them because I have no problem. But I'm just saying, like 35 minutes, 6-1, it wasn't the most strenuous set, and it's not the hottest day. Like, does there need to be a rule where it's like if the first set's under 45 minutes and the humidity is low or whatever? I don't know. Again, I don't care that there's bathroom breaks. I don't think we should have a bathroom break rule. But for the people that do have a problem with bathroom breaks, would that be something that you would consider? There should be a rule. By the way, when I say bathroom breaks, it's not about going to the toilet. It's about going to the change rooms and the locker room. Bathroom breaks are not about going to the toilet. That's not always what they are for. They're going to get changed because the first, because your clothes are all sweaty and you want a new kit to come out on. It's not always about going to the toilet. That's not what bathroom breaks are for every time. You can use a bathroom break to go to get changed. These last few matches, Swiatek makes a lot of errors. Yes, she has been. But again, like I said, I have no problem with it. But for the people that do have a problem with it, I want to hear what you have to say. Limit the change room break, but keep in the bathroom break. So you reckon it should only be used for bathroom, and they should only be like, because I think it's like the rule was on the ATP, I think last year. It was like 2 minutes for bathroom, 5 minutes if you go and get changed as well. So there was an extended break if you got changed. Leave it as is. Fair enough. By the way, I'm not just talking about WTA, I'm talking about both, for men and women. Like the change room break for both, not just on the WTA. Stop the breaks, who cares? I'm just asking. I'm with you, I don't care. Don't have a problem with it. But people seem to always be like, oh, here she goes again, she's going to the toilet again. And it's like, I want to hear what the solution is. What's your solution, How many tie breaks did Mensik win a row camp? I have no idea. Swiatek's got 2 minutes remaining to get back on the court. The umpire just said. Do you think the opponent will ever have the opposite player has problems with it? Sometimes. I think some play. I mean, Coco's trying to keep her serve warm. It's definitely a psychological thing. Not for Swiatek to do it, but for the other player. Like for Gauff to stand there and wait for 5 minutes after she just won the first set and is, got a bit of momentum, to then just stop. Like that's frustrating if you're the opponent. But again, it's not breaking the rules, so it's not like Swiatek is doing this on purpose so that Gauff. Look, part of it is to stop momentum, but she's not breaking any rules. The problem is she is the only one who does it? No, I doubt that. I think other players do it as well. But she's not breaking any rules. So, I mean, that's at the end of the day, she's not doing anything bad. There should be cameras in there. Why would you put cameras in the toilet? That's weird. Sometimes it is done on purpose. Yeah, but I mean, you have to, like, people, like, there's an attendant that goes with you. It's not like you just, like, walk out by yourself and, like, there's a bathroom attendant. There's, like, somebody walking aside. You know, they're not obviously there in with you, but they have to, you know, they're going to, you know, make sure that you do go where you're supposed to go, right? Go to the locker room. They attend you. They walk you there like a security guard. Not good sportsmanship. Yeah, it's called gamesmanship, and that's okay too. She always does that and wins. But yeah, I mean, so then why, if it's not illegal, then that's, I mean, every player takes bathroom break. Yeah, a lot of players do. All right, anyways, let's see how Swiatek looks now in the second. Gauff, 6-1 first set. There's a default second serve. Remember, Gauff has to win this tournament, and she could be number 2 in the world. She will overtake Swiatek if she wins Madrid. As the return goes out by Swiatek, and it's 15 love Gauff. Serve again. And the return goes into the forehand of Gauff. Backhand now Swiatek into the backhand of Gauff. But Gauff hits it out. And it's 15-all. 15-all. Serve again. As the return goes in by Swiatek to the slice of Gauff. Swiatek backhand. Goes wide. 30-15. Serve again. As the return goes into the forehand of Gauff. Forehand from Swiatek into the forehand of Gauff. And Swiatek gets a forehand lob. Goes into the forehand of Gauff. And Swiatek slice forehand. Goes long. 40-15. $40-15. $40-15. Served on the tees. An ace by Gauff. All right, 1 love. Gauff in the second. Will the Queen be demoted today? No. I want to actually no. I'm going to throw it to you because I already have said enough. But Swiatek losing this match, does it, like, what is it, like, does it matter when it comes to, like, do you think it seriously affects her chances of winning Roland Garros? If she loses this match, she's not going to win Roland Garros. By losing this match, she's basically an underdog, like a dark horse. And Gauff's the second best, and Sabalenka, and they're going to win. And Swiatek's out of the race. Or do you think she's still the favorite after this, even if she loses? Like, I kind of think that she's still the favorite, even if she loses this match. Because Roland Garros is not the same as Madrid. But I don't know. I want to hear what you say. Hey, Don, thank you for the 44 months as a tier 3 member. Appreciate that. Holy cow, just tuned in. What happened? First set, go Coco. There's a lot of errors by Swiatek, unfortunately, but Coco has been serving really well. Swiatek puts up a lob. And Gauff comes in. And hits a winner. Love 15. She won Madrid last year, true. Swiatek's confidence will seriously be dented. Okay. She is still the favorite. RG is slower. Losing Rome would be a concern. I agree. If we were watching Rome, if this was happening in Rome, I'd be way more concerned, for sure. I don't think she has to win Rome, but I think Swiatek has to do well in Rome. She can't lose. She can't have a bad loss in Rome, because that will be when questions are asked. It certainly won't boost her confidence. Yeah. I mean, has she won 3 of the last 4 titles in Rome? I'm pretty sure, right? 3 out of the last 4. And retired one of them to the eventual champion, right? Is it a backhand return now to the forehand of Swiatek? Swiatek in the net, 15-30. Swiatek yelling at her coaches. Man, Swiatek is not having fun. 15-30. You don't see Swiatek like this. I think that's what's such a shame. Swiatek just got a code violation for swearing too. That never happens. 15-30. She just got a warning for swearing. Serving to the forehand of Gauff. Swiatek forehand goes wide and it's 15-40. Gauff to get the break. And Swiatek serves. Serving to the forehand of Gauff. Forehand of Swiatek into the forehand of Gauff. Swiatek forehand again to the forehand of Gauff. Gauff hits a winner. Swiatek doesn't even move. 2-love. Gauff with the break in the second. By the way, I think we also need to keep this in context. She is in a semi-final. We are watching a semi-final between 2 of the top 4 players. It's just that Gauff is not the player that beats Swiatek usually on clay, never, right? So it's not that Swiatek's had a bad tournament or Swiatek's not going to do well at Roland Garros because she's losing this match. It's just that this match and the way that she's reacting is not how we've seen Swiatek deal with pressure and deal with this kind of stuff in the past. Mind you, she's never been in this position in the past, but as Gauff says, a fault second serve, 15-love, by the way. As Gauff double faults, 15-all. Stop making the excuses. Coco is stifling her right now. God, this always happens, doesn't it? I say one thing about one player and I explain one thing, and then people from the other player just take it personally. I wasn't talking about Coco. I'm talking about Swiatek. Got nothing to do with Coco, right? Leave. I'm talking about how Swiatek's not playing the way that she usually plays. Blah 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 blah. She hits it wide. Swiatek 30-15. But I guess, you can take it personal, I guess. Somehow flip that and spin it into Gauff. I don't know. I didn't say anything about Gauff. 30-15. As the backhand return goes into the backhand of Gauff. Backhand of Swiatek. Again to the backhand of Gauff. Gauff hits it wide. 30-all. Chance for Swiatek to break straight back. Gauff serves again. She serves the forehand of Swiatek. Return goes to the forehand of Gauff. Swiatek forehand into the backhand of Gauff, who hits a winner. 40-30. Lovely hitting by Coco. 40-30. 40-30. Swiatek needs to get rid of her entire staff, start over. I think that's a little extreme. 40-30. As the backhand return goes in the backhand of Gauff, slices in to the forehand of Swiatek, who overhits it. 3-love Gauff in the second. This doesn't happen. This does not happen in this matchup. This doesn't happen. But it is right now. The scoreline is wild. Exactly. It's crazy. Swiatek needs a break from tennis. I don't think Swiatek will play anything between Roland Garros and Wimbledon. I think Swiatek will take 3 weeks after Roland Garros. And look, I'm not going to sound alarmed because next week in Rome will be more important to see how Swiatek actually is because, she has lost in Madrid before. She has lost in Stuttgart before. I don't think we can, losing to Ostapenko and Gauff, who might end up winning the championship, I don't think it's alarm bells on the clay just yet. But if she doesn't win Rome or she doesn't lose in like the semis to Andreeva or something, she's got to have to lose a really tight, tough contest in Rome to sort of. Sorry, she's going to have to lose really early in Rome or really badly in Rome to kind of think Roland Garros is in trouble, right? Gauff is definitely in the mix now. Yeah, I mean, she's made a French Open final before, right? So she should definitely be. I think she's only lost to Swiatek like the last couple of years, or the eventual. Am I getting it right? Has Gauff only lost to the eventual champion in the last 4 French Opens? Swiatek, Krejcikova, Swiatek, or something like that. I'm pretty sure Gauff's only lost to the player that's won the championship at Roland Garros. So Gauff's always got to be in the mix. And now that she's doing this to Swiatek on clay, even though I know Madrid's not Roland Garros, for Coco, clay is clay. So she's going to be like, well, I can beat Swiatek on clay. Doesn't matter if it's Madrid, where she's just going to take that confidence into if they play at Roland Garros, right? Swiatek gets it out, love 15. Could you see Swiatek falling to third position as less pressure? No. I don't think it's going to be less pressure at all. Probably more pressure because her ranking's going to drop possibly further. Coco hits an easy win. I love 40. I love 30. No, I don't think going to number 3 helps at all. The thing is, she's on clay. She's unfortunately she's a victim of her own success because she's won 3 French Opens in a row. It doesn't matter if she was ranked number 10. If she had 3, she's got triple French Opens, right? She's on a 4-peat, which has not been done for a long, long time. She's going to have focus. It doesn't matter where she's ranked, Swiatek. The pressure will be on her as a 3-time champion. Number 2, number 10, doesn't matter. Going into the French Open, there's all the pressure's on Swiatek. She's going to be the favorite. Even if Sabalenka and Gauff, win this tournament and win the next one, Swiatek is still going to have a massive spotlight on her next week and also in Roland Garros. Doesn't matter who she loses to. Anyway, it's 15-30. It just gives Gauff a little bit more. I think people maybe take Gauff a little more seriously on clay going into Roland Garros with this win. But it doesn't change anything for Swiatek. She's still got all the pressure. More pressure because she's got so many points to defend next week and the week after. And then Pegula's also just behind. Pegula's not too far behind as well. So you got Pegula and Gauff trying to overtake Swiatek, which they could do before Roland Garros. And then going in as number 4 at Roland Garros, crazy. With the possibility of dropping further if you don't make it through the first week. I mean, yeah. The pressure is off Swiatek once we get off the clay. Once we get off the clay, Swiatek post French Open, that's when she can start playing freely. But right now, she's right in the middle of Massive points defense. And she's down 2 break points as well. First serve's a fault, second serve. Gauff to get the double break. And Swiatek serves. Double fault. Back-to-back double faults. And Gauff's got a 4-love lead. Man. Chat, I don't know what to think of this match because Gauff is playing well, right? Let's say that because Gauff's serving well. She's not giving away points. She's playing well. But I don't know who the hell is she playing because Swiatek is playing for her standard, not even close to her standard. Gauff is playing solid though, just like Keys did in the first set yesterday, right? Keys didn't play outstanding. She just didn't give away free points. And Swiatek made all the errors. And then after that, Keys started to make more errors and Swiatek came back. But Gauff hasn't given Swiatek anything. She's just keeping it clean, keeping it solid on her side, and Swiatek's making all the errors. So it's smart play by Gauff. And she's serving well too, Coco, which has always been a big issue. I think most of your predictions have gone by the wayside this week. I picked Swiatek in 3 yesterday. What do you mean? All right, Coco to serve. And also, I picked Rude to win today. Anyways, backhand return goes to the forehand of Gauff. Swiatek the forehand of Gauff. And Swiatek forehand of the line goes wide. It's 30 love. I'll tell you this. I picked Andreeva to beat Gauff, and I also picked Swiatek to beat Gauff. Not because I don't think Gauff's good. It's because Gauff hasn't proven anything lately. Gauff hasn't been good lately, right? Coco's shown nothing in the last couple of weeks to think, oh yeah, she's going to make the final in Madrid. Like, chat, did anyone think Coco Gauff was going to make the final in Madrid this week? Unless you're a fan of hers. It was Andreeva Swiatek. That was the pick. Because Gauff hasn't been playing well probably since Australia, realistically. So Coco to beat Andreeva and Swiatek back-to-back was not expected. So more power to her, though. I mean, incredible stuff. She's only lost 2 games in her last 3 sets. Right? All right, 40 love. Gauff got a 5 love in the second. 40 love. I'll tell you what, though, Gauff versus Sabalenka final, not bad. Not too bad. Not a bad final. Those two play crazy matches. First serve to fault, second serve. Serving to the backhand of Swiatek. Return goes into the backhand of Gauff. Gauff in the net. It's 40-15. 40-15. By the way, Swiatek hadn't been bageled on clay in 6 years until yesterday. She might get bageled in back-to-back matches on clay. That is insane. Gauff serves an ace. It's 5 love. Like, that would be crazy if Swiatek got bageled in 2 matches. That is insanity. Okay. 5 love. Coco is 1 game away from the final of Madrid. More importantly, though, beating Swiatek on clay for the first time ever. Do you think Swiatek will win RG? Again, I don't, personally, I don't consider Swiatek not winning Madrid meaning that she doesn't win Roland Garros. I think Rome is way more important for Swiatek. So ask me that next week. We'll watch Swiatek in Rome is way more of a. I think that one's like that match is that tournament is way more of a indication whether or not the French Open, like how she's looking at the French Open, right? So at this stage, I would still say Swiatek can win the French, yes. But Ask me next week in Rome. Depends on her Rome result. She wins Rome, no one's going to talk about this match. Not from a Swiatek point. From a Gauff point of view, yes. But going into if she wins Rome, going to the French Open, Swiatek's the favorite. Gauff's going to be like, maybe, you know, if she gets put in Gauff's half of the draw, we want that rematch. You know, there's going to be a lot of factors. But yeah, but I think we can all agree, right? If Swiatek wins Rome, nobody's going to remember that Swiatek was getting beat up badly here, because everyone's going to remember that Madrid and Rome is not the same, and Rome is Roland Garros, and, you know, more like Roland Garros. Anyways, 5 love as Swiatek in the net, and it's love 15. But this is a statement by Gauff. If not against Swiatek, but just as a, hey, I can win the French Open. Just remind everybody that also my best tennis can beat everybody. And if you didn't put Gauff in your maybe favorites to win the French, you probably should now, because she's beaten Andreeva and Swiatek. And she might play Sabalenka tomorrow. Or in a couple of days. 2 days. First there's a fault, Swiatek second serve. Going around Rome on Thursday. Nice. Also, thank you, Gina, for the 35 months. As that goes out by Gauff, 15 all. 15 all. 1 hour played, by the way. God, this is so weird. Because usually it's Swiatek in this position at 1 hour. This is so weird. This is such a weird result. Maybe not like unexpected for some, but like in terms of like, this is what Swiatek does. 1 hour breadstick bagel. I mean, what the hell? Return goes into the forehand of Swiatek, forehand from Gauff. Into the forehand of Swiatek is Gauff. Again to the forehand of Swiatek, goes down the line of the back and Gauff on the stretch. Gauff hits it out, 30-15. 30-15. This feels wrong. Yeah, it's crazy. 30-15. Swiatek serves again. Into the forehand of Gauff. To the forehand of Swiatek. Gauff with the backhand. Into the backhand of Swiatek, who hits it long. 30 all. 30 all. Accept it. Iga is getting whooped by Coco today. What? Some of you got to, like, relax. 30 all. As we just serve now the backhand of Gauff. Forehand of Swiatek into the forehand of Gauff. Swiatek forehand. Into the backhand of Gauff. Swiatek with a volley. Winner. 40-30. 40-30. Gauff needs to break now? No, she doesn't. Gauff doesn't need to break now. She's got a bunch of service games up her sleeve. She can break in a couple of games. Anyway, Swiatek holds. No bagel. No bagel. All right, Gauff's going to serve the match 5-1 for a double breadstick, which is... And I know what you're asking, and I'll tell you the answer in a second. Because I don't remember the last time this happened either. Anyways, return goes in the backhand of Gauff. Forehand of Swiatek. Into the forehand of Gauff on the stretch. Swiatek comes in with the backhand cross-court long. Gosh, Swiatek's backhand is just going out. She's overhitting everything. So last time Swiatek lost a match this badly. Like 1-1 or even like 1-2. She did lose to Penko this year at 3-1, which was pretty surprising. Pagula United Cup a couple of years ago was 2-2. Last time she lost this badly was against Sam Stosur in Eastbourne. It was 11-3. And that was in 2019. So in the 2020s, this would be her worst result by score. She hasn't lost this badly. And if you want to go all the way back, it's probably since Penko in Birmingham. And on a clay court, it might be her worst result ever. For her. But of course, she is playing Coco Gauff, so maybe it's not her worst. Anyways, Gauff's got match points to make the final and just give Swiatek back some of her own medicine that she's been dealing out to Gauff all these years. As Gauff serves. Too big, too strong. Gauff wins 1-1. That is impressive. Wow. Coco's in the final. What was that match? What was that result? Coco Gauff has just smoked Iga Swiatek. That's the best win she's ever had against Swiatek too. She's had good wins, but that one, not only because it was on clay, but also because of the score, that was her best win over Swiatek ever. She's won the last 3 in a row. I mean, there was a time, 12 months ago, she couldn't win games against Swiatek in the set. We're like, oh, could she get a tiebreak maybe? Maybe she could get to like 4-all. Nah, 12 months later, she's beaten her up 6-1, 6-1. Madness. That was madness. By the way, Chet, now we've got like 5-6 hours until the next match, so that's fun. Wow. GG's. Too good. All right, no more boogie woman for Gauff. Yeah, I mean, right now, Gauff's won 3 in a row, and now one on clay. I mean, that's all positive for Gauff. Might be a Medvedev Sinner situation. Yeah, maybe. Now Gauff's in the final, so she's going to play either Svitolina or Sabalenka. I hope she plays Sabalenka. Sabalenka Gauff is a great final. They always play good matches. What's wrong with Iga? I think it's just she just doesn't trust the game. She doesn't trust her own game, I don't think. You know? I think she's trying to play a way that maybe her and the team think is better for her to be competitive against more players, especially the dangerous players, but she's not executing the game, which is like then she's losing the confidence in that game. You know? She's hitting way more errors, yeah. And I think that's because she's trying to be more aggressive. And she's trying to be more aggressive because players like Sabalenka, Ostapenko, Raducanu, sometimes Gauff, Zhang, you know, Keys. All these players are massive hitters and can out-hit Swiatek. And I don't think Swiatek likes being out-hit by them. So she wants to try and get a little more aggressive, but it's not working yet. And it might work, or it may never work. But I think she's trying to be a more aggressive player. And it's resulting in a lot of errors and a lot of strange losses. You know, a lot of strange results that she's not used to having. I mean, we've talked about it so far. Like, her worst loss so far as a Grand Slam champion was against Eala. That was, you know, and again, Eala had a good win, but that's Swiatek's worst loss on paper. A lot of things that are happening that have been like the first time since forever that Swiatek's had like bad losses. Got bageled for the first time on clay in 6 years yesterday, right? Worst loss against Gauff and also first clay court loss against Gauff today, right? There's a lot of firsts for Swiatek, which are not the good ones. They're bad ones, right? They're like first losses to players, you know, first time this and that and bad things are happening, right? So, yeah. So, yeah, it's just, it's rough. And I think it all comes from trying to be more aggressive, you know, so she doesn't get outgunned by these bigger hitters. You know, but she's just not, the execution's not there, and then she's getting frustrated because it's not working. And then it just sort of goes down, you know? She's trying to, you think of it like this, right? She comes out, she's trying to play a certain way. That way's not working, so she gets annoyed, which makes her play worse, and then she goes down. And then the next match, the next time she plays that game and it starts not working, it stops working again. And then she's like, well, last time it doesn't work, so it's still not working. And she just, yeah. And it's so, I think as watching her from afar, it's really probably frustrating for the fans, right? Because it didn't feel like she was that far, it didn't feel like last year to us, it didn't seem like that she was that, she needed to do that much change. Like, it didn't seem like she was that vulnerable. But then again, obviously she thought she was, so she's brought on people to help her try and be more aggressive, or try and not be as, the serve not as attackable. But yeah, I mean, it didn't seem like last year, I think she lost to Zhang in a very close Olympic match. She lost to Coco at the WTA finals, but then she won the other matches, and she could have maybe made the semis had it gone a different way, which would have changed. She got lost to Sabalenka in Pegula at the US Open, but both of them were on fire at that time. So I don't know. It didn't seem like she needed to have a drastic change of game, but I don't know. But like I keep saying, chat, Rome and Roland Garros are Swiatek's favorite events. If she doesn't do well at those tournaments, if she loses those tournaments, then we can assess what the hell's going on. Because she has lost in Madrid before. She lost to Sabalenka here before. She almost lost last year to Sabalenka in the final, right? She lost to Raducanu last year at Stuttgart, so that's, Penko winning there, okay. But Rome and Roland Garros are the places that she plays her best, and that's the places that she's it's probably her favorite two tournaments, right? So we'll see how she looks there. Maybe those tournaments she'll get more confidence, because those tournaments are the ones that she wins so well and she does so well. Mensik about to lose? Oh, no. It's a new and improved Coco. I was certain that she would beat Swiatek. Yeah, look, Coco played great. But I get, we know how good Coco can be. We've seen how good she can be this year and last year, at the end of last year, right? But seeing Swiatek play like this, that's the strange thing. That's why we're talking about Swiatek way more, because seeing Swiatek play like that is much more strange than it is seeing Gauff playing really well. We've seen Gauff play well. She won a US Open. Gauff played great. But Swiatek playing bad, we haven't seen that very often over the last couple of years. Especially on clay, so that's why we're talking a lot more about her. Because it's a lot stranger to see her play like that compared to Gauff playing well, because we know that Gauff can play well. I have this funny feeling that this year's RG, Swiatek won't win it. Well, winning 4 in a row when you're on a losing streak is not going to, or when you're not playing your best, is going to be probably impossible. Unless she wins Rome. If she wins Rome and she beats Gauff in the final of Rome, or on the way to beating her at Rome or whatever, I think confidence restored a little bit. So again, we can't really declare. I don't think we should. I'm not counting Swiatek out of the French until we see her at Rome. We have to go through Rome before we can start assessing the French Open, I think. It's still I think it's still up in the air. Swiatek's the favourite still for me, even though she hasn't played well today. But, yeah. Cerundolo just beat Mensik. There you go. Cerundolo Rude. Confirmed. When is Rome? Next week. Starts next week. Gauff just came, served, and left. Pretty much. I mean, Gauff's serve in the last 2 matches has been really, really good. So much better than it usually is. I mean, we've seen her serving some really tough times, but this week she's serving amazing, which we love to see. Gauff served 90% first serves. Yeah, it's crazy. All right. Cool. Opelka vs. Mutay's coming up soon. Where's that? Osaka's down against Parry. Yeah, 4-2 final set there. Swiatek and Sasha haven't been the same since the Australian Open to me. Yeah, I get you. Yep. I think that Swiatek is feeling the weight of expectation and trying to defend 3 consecutive titles on clay. I've never seen Swiatek play this poorly. Yeah. Look, and look. And I've said this before. I think Swiatek, in her head, I think that she's probably still feels hard done by getting banned for a month at a time where the world number 1 ranking was on the line for her and Sabalenka. And I think that like the fact that she wasn't able to defend her spot, she basically got it. It was basically taken from her, right? Because she was away, she wasn't able to defend the points, and while she was gone, Sabalenka won. I think that was the start of it, right? I mean, the Olympic finals, you can say that was the start, but I think, losing at the Olympics, I mean, we saw Alcaraz have a bit of a slump after that as well, but he's obviously had his moments of comeback since the Olympics. I don't think we can blame the Olympic loss on the last, whatever. I think it's more about getting banned for a month. Because if you think about, and I've said this before, right? She doesn't get to play the Asian swing because she's banned. So in that time, she had points to defend. Sabalenka had nothing to defend. So Sabalenka, Swiatek didn't get to fight for number 1, which is probably what was going to happen if she didn't get banned for a month. The way she got banned as well, and the reason she got banned, I think also is probably annoying because it's like it wasn't her fault. She had nothing to do with it, but still had to, if it was a month, if it was a month before that, or maybe a month after that, it was such a really, like we talk about Sinner's ban was kind of in a nice spot where it's like 3 months where there's not any slams. Swiatek's ban was probably, even though it was shorter, was probably way worse, like mentally, because it affected her ranking straight away. Sabalenka was on a roll. She didn't have a chance to defend. She had to watch on the sidelines as Sabalenka won and took her spot, and she didn't get a chance to defend it. So she had to wait, until and when she got back, Sabalenka had already extended a bit of a lead, and Swiatek couldn't recover it, right? Whereas Sinner was so far ahead of everybody else, and then the slams all it was between slams, so it was like so. I think Swiatek's ban, even though it was shorter, was way tougher because it was in such a shitty spot, And we don't talk about that enough because we just say 1 month, 3 months, But then after that, she was chasing Sabalenka ever since, right? She's been chasing Sabalenka ever since that moment. And she hasn't been able to chase Sabalenka down because Sabalenka has been able to do well, and Sabalenka, defends the Australian Open points, or at least half of them, and then once Australian Open finished, it was all on Swiatek because Swiatek had Doha, she had Indian Wells, she had, Madrid, she had Rome, she has the French Open. So realistically, getting to number 1 for Swiatek is never going to happen unless Sabalenka went completely off and she went on fire. So like once we get past the French, I feel like we're going to get a better Swiatek because the pressure of being number 1 or trying to defend her spot is going to be out the window because she don't have to defend anything after that, pretty much. And the fact that like Sabalenka has so much to defend later in the year and Swiatek's got nothing, I think at the end of the year we'll see a much better Swiatek. because she won't be playing with that pressure of, I have to win to stay, because it's not even about winning Madrid to stay in front. She has to win Madrid to stay close enough to Sabalenka. Because now the gap keeps getting wider. With every loss, the gap gets wider, right? And also Sabalenka keeps winning, which is probably frustrating too, right? So yeah. So it's just, yeah. And all of these things, plus trying to change your game to be more competitive against certain players and, having a different team to 12 months ago, all those things. I think all of those things are playing a factor into her, right? And I think if she doesn't win the French, let's say she lost in the 4th round, I think she wouldn't play any matches until Wimbledon. I think she would take the entire grass warm-up. I don't think she'll play anything. And I think she'll go straight to Wimbledon after like 4 weeks. With no expectations. Just go to Wimbledon. I don't think she'd... and I think that might be the best thing for her, right? Because she hasn't really had a chance to take that time because she's had to, defend so hard, And it doesn't matter if she doesn't win Wimbledon because it's not really probably on her radar at the moment anyway. And then after Wimbledon, that's when I think Swiatek can start her, could probably set up start her comeback because she'll get points from, I think it's Cincinnati. She lost all her points because of the ban. So she'll be able to play for that for free. Canada for free. Quarterfinals of the US, not much to do. She can play the entire Asian swing. And then the WTA final. So I think second half of the year after Wimbledon, Swiatek, I think we're going to get a better... I think we'll get a better version of her because she'll be just mentally fresh. And I think she'll be able to try and chase down Sabalenka without any pressure of having to defend stuff. But we'll see. Imagine if Swiatek lost to RG and won Wimbledon. Well, that would be crazy. That'd be interesting. Swiatek is outdated. Talk about other players. Stop doing only Swiatek. Please stop. Why don't you stop complaining? Swiatek's number 2 in the world. Stop complaining. Boo-hoo. We watch the second best player on the planet a lot. Okay. A lot of Polish people in the chat want to watch Iga Swiatek. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, but you are bored. Don't watch her then. Just come back for another match. We'll watch Gauff on Saturday, I promise you that. We're going to watch Coco on Saturday, so hopefully you're here for that. What happened to Swiatek today? She got wrecked. Sabalenka and Sinner will hold number 1 from the beginning to the end? I don't know. I feel like the second half of the year... look. Chad, let's talk about Coco. Seriously. Gauff could be number 1 this year. Coco Gauff could be world number 1 this year. I don't think that is out of the realm of possibility. I'm not basing that off today. I'm not basing that off yesterday and today. I'm basing it off the fact that Sabalenka has no points to gain after Wimbledon, pretty much. She's got to defend Cincy. She's got to defend the US Open. She's got to defend the Asian swing parts of that. Coco, if she does well here, and she wins this tournament, or she does well in Rome, and then she does well in the US, Coco might get to world number 1 at some point this season. She might take it off Sabalenka if Sabalenka doesn't do well at Wimbledon. If Sabalenka wins Wimbledon, then it's probably GG's. But if Sabalenka doesn't do well at Wimbledon, Coco might have a chance. I know Coco's got Beijing and the WTA finals, but before that, I'm talking about between Roland Garros and Beijing. It's free. She's playing pretty open. There's not too much going on, and we know what she did in that period of time 2 years ago. So, maybe dream a little. Maybe dream. By the way, bro, you're coming in here bitching about me talking about Swiatek. I'm talking about Coco Gauff and you're still bitching. You gotta relax, brother. Talk about other players. I'm talking about Coco Gauff. Take 5. US Open going to be interesting? Yeah. Sabalenka will be playing with the house money at Wimbledon. True, but... we'll see. We'll see. Swiatek personality doesn't suit luxury brands. Okay. Sabalenka can gain more at RG than Gauff. Yeah, but will she, though? That's the thing. Remember, Sabalenka does have points to defend next week as well. And Sabalenka, it is Coco versus Sabalenka in matchups. Coco likes playing Sabalenka. Like, I'm not saying that it's going to happen. I'm just saying that it might be mathematically possible. If Coco can, win this title, and then Coco can, go on to do well in on the hard courts, even at the French. Coco hasn't lost a final since 2022. Wow, that's crazy. I just can't wait for RG. Feels like it could be a pivotal moment for the year. Oh, yeah. Roland Garros is going to be crazy. Coco scenario could happen. I just think Sabalenka and Sinner will... Yeah, I'm not saying that Coco's going to 100% be number one. I'm just saying that if you're a Coco Gauff fan, believe. Believe. Draper and Rinaldi to enter the court soon? Cool. Good luck to them. It's a fun discussion to have. I know, right? It's fun. We'll know a lot more by Wimbledon. Once we get past Wimbledon, we'll know a lot more about whether or not this or that or the other can happen. But Sabalenka's power will largely neutralize on the surface. Yeah, maybe. Ruud Cerundolo, who wins? I'm going to go Ruud in a close 3-setter. Was Penko sitting in Coco's coach's box? No. By the way, chat, we've got like forever until the next match. We got like 4 or 5 hours. God damn it! I don't know why they didn't put. No, I do know why, but I don't know why they didn't put a match on center court now. It's kind of crazy. I think center court's empty for the next 3 hours, right? Yeah, like center court's empty until Musetti versus Diallo. Why wouldn't they put Musetti Diallo on now? So stupid. 2.5 hours until the next match. It's crazy. And then we're watching the one after that. Musetti won easily against Demon last night? Yeah, he did. By the way, whoever said Osaka's done, she just leveled at 4-all. Someone had planned all that very well. Swiatek to lose number one. Okay, well, let's not go down that track. That's not how it went. FAA losing? Oh, no. What's the biggest purse in tennis? I think it's US Open. Have I seen the Alcaraz Netflix show? Yes, I have. Yes, I have. Sabalenka had a bad 2022 by her standards. Okay. The Swiatek yell has me a little worried. Yeah. Yeah, the fact that, her frustrations, her showing her frustrations has been a bit of a concern. Only bad mind say that Osaka is done. Okay. Can't watch Drape in the meantime? Nah. What was the code violation? No, I think it was verbal obscenity. So she swore or something. I think she would have sworn. It would have been she said a bad word. What time is Sabalenka playing? She's playing in like 4 hours or something. Cam hates Draper. Okay, buddy. Mods, can we ban people that just bitch about Draper? Can we get rid of people that like complain? By the way, chat, there's a rule number 7 is we're not going to put up with people complaining about me not watching everything. Should have figured you were Australian. You were Aussie. Just realised, yeah. Draper and Demon are the most in-form ATP players. Hurkacz and Djokovic most out of form. Draper's going to win Wimbledon? Nice. Osaka serving for the match in the 3rd. Oh, did she break? Nice. Cerundolo's in form, yeah. Swiatek losing all semi-finals this year. Yeah, I mean, she hasn't won a title in almost a year. What's the next match? We're watching Sabalenka Svitolina. Of course, Cam hates Draper. He's an Aussie. Can't say I blame him. Guys are so stupid. Some of you are so stupid. Why are you not watching ATP? We did. We watched Ruud versus Medvedev. So, chat, now you're making me not want to watch Draper at all. Like, now I don't want to watch. I'm not even going to watch him when I go offline. Osaka is good to watch. Yeah. I was hoping we could watch her today, but it's just a little too hectic. Who are your dark horse picks for Rome? I don't know. It depends if Alcaraz plays. Then I can pick somebody else. Cammy's going to spite on watch Draper. No, I'm going to watch Draper. Why don't you watch Draper matches? I didn't watch Cerundolo Mensik either. I didn't watch Demon or Musetti. I didn't. Oh my god, chat! You've lost. Now I'm done. Now I'm gonna just. I didn't watch Ruud versus Fritz. I didn't watch Medvedev Nakashima. I didn't watch Paul versus Draper. I didn't watch Tiafoe yesterday. I didn't watch Dimitrov. I didn't watch a lot of things. But no, now some people in chat are just like, but you didn't watch Draper. I didn't watch a lot of people. All right? Because we're watching the WTA because it's more interesting right now. So stop complaining. I didn't watch a lot of players this week. All right? So relax. We're going to watch Draper when he beats Rinaldi and plays tomorrow. We're going to watch him tomorrow because he's going to probably beat Rinaldi. We'll watch him tomorrow. All right? So please, relax. I want to watch a certain English guy. Hey, look, go watch. Go. Feel free to watch. I'm not stopping you. I'm not saying don't watch. I'm not telling you not to watch Draper. I'm not saying you should watch. Like, I'm not banning everybody from watching Draper. I don't have control over that. You could do whatever you want. Go watch Draper. Go on. That's fine. I'm not saying if you watch Draper, you're not welcome here. You can go watch Draper. You can do whatever you want. If Draper loses, we'll have a new 1,000 champion? Really? That's crazy. What's with the Draper controversy? Yeah, Draper fans are just nagging me. For no reason. I like Draper, but I don't know. But some of you guys are really just. I don't think I get badgered more than more than not watching Draper. I think right now, out of all the players, I think not watching Draper matches are the ones that I get the most, like, for some reason. Just keep, like, you know? I don't know. We don't watch Medvedev, we don't watch Zverev, we don't watch a lot of other players, but Draper fans, some of you are just like, but you didn't watch Draper though. I know, it's true. Also didn't watch a lot of players. Osaka won, good. Good. I think Draper's playing. Yeah, I heard he's playing. Today. You like to watch women's matches more than men's? Yeah, because they're more interesting. WTA is way better. Way more interesting right now. And that's not even a conversation. I mean, WTA is way more interesting right now. Just remember, future world number 1 Draper is playing. That's great. WTA is unpredictable, sure. Not really. Not much. Chat here. How about this? Okay, Draper fans, how about this? For some reason, you're in this match. If Draper loses today, we will watch every match that he plays in Rome. All right, just to avoid him missing anything. If he loses today, we will not miss a match next week in Rome because, God forbid, I miss a match and he loses. If he loses this match today, all right. And I'll make up for it because we're going to watch him tomorrow because he's not going to lose today. But if he loses today, somehow, we'll watch him every match he plays in Rome, all right? To make up for the fact that we missed him lose. You right? We good? Schedule's out for tomorrow? Yeah, it's semi-final day. What time do I have to start tomorrow? I start at midnight. Yay. Oh, Cerundolo. Oh, okay. Oh, good. They have okay, matches are all right tomorrow. Cool. Draper Musetti tomorrow. Yeah, that's going to be so fun. Draper fans are hoping Rinaldi wins. Yeah, see, this is it. Like a plastic bag in the wind. Fair weather fans. Oh, now I want Rinaldi to win. Yeah, okay. If you were a real Draper fan, you wouldn't have even joked about that. Coco needs to beat Sabalenka first. For what? Must say, I've been impressed with Draper and Menzies this tournament. Great transition to clay after coming off the hard court wins. True, but also remember, Madrid is not the same as Roland Garros. Just remember that. But it's not nothing. I think we all need to keep our expectations in check for Madrid. Right? Rublev won Madrid last year, beat Felix in the final. I don't remember them doing well at the French. You know? Just keep your expectations. Madrid is not always an indication of Roland Garros' success, all right? But also, it's great for those who win. But I wouldn't be betting on... there must be some sort of like... Whoever does well in Madrid, how they do at the French, what's their results? We should see what's up. Medvedev winning Rome, still crazy. Yeah, that was insane. You're not watching Mutea Opelka? Nah, not today. I might watch it like next time. Unless you're Rafa and Madrid is a great indication. Well, yeah, I mean, maybe. I'm talking about these days, not talking about Rafa days. Rafa's a freak. we can't compare to Rafa. Hey, look, Draper's about to break. I'm just wasting time until the next match, by the way, chat. WTA is more competitive these days, 100%. But it's also like, it's more consistent. Like, we're getting a lot more top 10 clashes. The only there's no top 10 clashes on the men's side now because everyone lost. Draper's the only top 10 player left in the draw. On the women's side, we've had top 10 clashes in the quarterfinals, semifinal, and maybe even the final. So, again, that just shows how much more, like how much better WTA is right now because, you know, and it's not even just like, you know, Keish Swiatek quarterfinal. We had like, you know, Schneider Swiatek fourth round, which was a close, you know, they're close in the rankings, you know. And then you had the Andreeva versus Gauff matchup, you know, in the quarters with top 10 clash. We're not getting a top 10 clash this week on the men's side at all, which is shit. We almost did. I mean, Musetti versus Demonor was almost a top 10 clash, but not this week. Next week it would be. But yeah, no top 10 matchups this week, which is just shows how good the top 10 of the WTA are, and also how rough it is for the ATP at the moment, and how hard it is to get like chat. This was supposed to be Djokovic versus Draper. We'd be watching that right now. Djokovic Draper would have been. It was supposed to be the match. Musetti Draper is going to be sick if that happens, but yeah, like this. Like I mean, chat. Just like last year, if it wasn't for the WTA, Madrid would be very, very hard to watch for the most part, right? Because we're just not getting the same players. We're not getting the play matchups that we wanted. We all wanted Fonseca versus Draper, but Paul took his spot. We all wanted Draper versus Djokovic, but then Rinaldi took his spot. We all wanted, we wanted to get Alcaraz versus Musetti again, but obviously Alcaraz withdrew. You know, we wanted to get maybe Rune versus Rude, you know, again, but Rune withdrew or he got injured. You know, we wanted to see maybe a Rublev Mensik, but Bublik got in the way. Feast versus Zverev, but Feast lost. So we didn't just get our matches this week. I mean, what's been the best men's match this week? Maybe Cerundolo Zverev? I mean, I don't know. I mean, Paul versus Fonseca was super high level. But what's been the best men's match this week? Like, I just hasn't felt like there's been any, unless you're a fan of one of the players and you're like, oh, the time my guy won, okay. But like in terms of matchups, there's been some interesting matches on paper. Like, you know, the men's Cerundolo match was good today, but like in terms of like Fonseca, Paul stands out. That was huge. Yeah, Musetti Tsitsipas was good, right? But like Diallo Dimitrov, yeah, but that was only because Diallo come back from the dead. But I mean, are we going to remember that in 2 weeks? Probably not. Like, there haven't been any memorable matches this week. Like, Roland Garros defining matches. You know, Rune beating Alcaraz in Barcelona was huge, right? Musetti versus Demonor a couple of weeks ago was great. Unfortunately, it didn't happen again, but... And then, you know, obviously Musetti versus Alcaraz final, you know, we just haven't had any, like, I don't know. Am I the only one that thinks that? We haven't had any, like, Roland Garros shaping matches this week. Like, the players that have supposed to win, like, there's been a lot of upsets, and then there's been a lot of, like, the players that are supposed to win, you know? Maybe, though, Musetti Draper could be a really interesting match if they play. Clay season just warming up. We're literally in the middle of it. The clay season started weeks ago, and we haven't even... I I mean, I don't know. I mean, on the women's side, the clay season's fire, but on the men's side, it feels like, geez, we're right in the smack bang in the middle of it. Yeah, Alcaraz Feast Monte Carlo was great, right? Yeah. Musetti Draper would be most exciting match of the tournament. Yeah, that could be, yeah, for sure. And look, Ruud Cerundolo is fun. Yeah, Musetti Draper, Ruud Cerundolo, great matches. Yeah. Hopefully we get all those matchups because those are, especially Musetti Draper. I feel like that whoever wins that match. I know Madrid clay is not the same, but whoever wins that matchup kind of feels like they should be taken kind of as a dark horse maybe for a run at the French. Definitely Musetti's already a dark horse anyway, but if Draper beats Musetti, you got to maybe put him in as a dark horse for the French, at least for now, maybe until Rome. And then, I mean, Ruud Cerundolo are already sort of dark horses for the French, I guess, because they're proven on clay. But yeah, it's kind of funny because if it is that lineup, Draper is the least experienced on clay, so it's a great opportunity for Draper to try and beat some very good clay court players, and if Draper wins Madrid by beating Cerundolo, Ruud, Musetti, it's pretty good. That's got to give you confidence. I want a Ruud Musetti final so someone gets their first Masters. Okay. Draper's going to be top 5 if he wins today. Yeah. So what? He kicks Djokovic out. Don't think Draper ever played RG as a top 8 seed. No, he hasn't played any Grand Slam as a top 8 seed. Ruud probably wins it all. Yeah, but the pressure of trying to win a 1,000 that he's never done. Draper, by the way, is playing crazy. He's up 15-40. He's about to get a double break. Draper's playing crazy. He's playing crazy. He is playing crazy. I have paired him with some of the high probability female Roland Garros winners. Crazy odds. Wait, what? This day last year, Rafa played his last match in Madrid against Lehečka. Yeah, I saw the posts. All right. Cerundolo's a real dark horse. Yeah, Cerundolo's super underrated. What if Delpo coached Cerundolo? That'd be fun. Sky Sports are comparing Draper to Rafa. That's why you're crazy. Now I know why you guys come in here getting all crazy. I know where it comes from now. I know why. Now I know. Draper's up a double break. Now I know. I know where you're getting all this in your head. Now I know. Where you're getting fed all this stuff, and then you come in here and you're like, now I know. Who's telling you things and you're coming in here. Now, okay. All right. Now I know. So that's where you're getting all your information. And then you come in here and you're like, but Cam, I got told he's the best thing since Rafa. Excuse me? What? Okay. Now I know. Where you getting all this? Why Draper is must watch. Do not miss. Cam, how are you missing this? You got to watch Djokovic. You got to watch Alcaraz. You got to watch Sinner. You got to watch Draper. Now I know where it's coming from. Now I know. Now I know. Can you name a player whose performance is almost equal on all surfaces? Alcaraz, maybe. Alcaraz? He's like Rafa with 14 less French Opens. Yeah. Yeah. Is Draper the best after Rafa retired? No, stop. 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 Please stop. Stop this. To be fair, you never ever even... Gene, don't get them started, Gene. Don't get them started. Don't get them started. Don't get them started. Because I also don't watch a lot of Taylor Fritz. So that's not even true. Taylor Fritz, higher ranked. We don't watch much of him either. So don't get them started. They've already gotten started. They're all been going crazy at me. I don't need you to help them. All right? Don't get them started. Don't get them started. Yeah, we watched Fritz 5 times this year. We've watched Draper 10 times this year, all right? And I'm sure the Americans are like, yeah, Taylor Fritz. But I guess the thing is that you've got so many Americans that we can watch. You know, you get your American fix, whereas it's either Raducanu or Draper. And if you don't watch Raducanu, and you better watch Draper, right? I guess there's a lot more Americans to watch, but we don't watch Draper. We don't watch Fritz much either. And it's not for lack of trying. We try. You don't watch enough Norrie either. We watch a lot of Norrie in the past, and people didn't even show up. And also, people didn't respect Norrie, which is sad. As a soon-to-be English person starts winning, they will follow tennis. Okay. One Norrie match is too many. That's harsh. And Brits have Fernley now too. And the old memories of Murray. Fair enough. All right, chat. I'm going to send you over the next one. We've got a couple of hours till that. The schedule's really rough. And it's all because of that day that the power went out. So it's a little bit. It's just Madrid's been. I don't know, chat. Have you guys felt the same way about Madrid as me? It just has been so hard to get into. Like, even though today was like semi-final day for the ladies, it didn't feel like semi-final day. It doesn't feel like semi-final day. It just kind of feels like we're still chasing the tail. You know, we're still trying to chase the lost day. I don't know. It's weird. Madrid's been weird. It's been a weird event. Not because of the upsets on the men's side necessarily, but it's just been strange. It just doesn't feel like we're in the end of the bigger tournament. It's just kind of like, okay, here we are. We're going to watch whatever. I don't know. It's weird. Madrid's the middle child. Yeah, I don't know why. It's just not doesn't. I don't know. I guess maybe it's because we know that Madrid and the Roland Garros are so different that Rome is the important one. But I don't know. It just feels like just going through the motions in Madrid until Sinner comes back next week, and then we can start really watching tennis, right? I don't know. It's been strange. Been a strange week because today, even this match, it was a strange result, but it was a blockbuster matchup. Next match, hopefully, is going to be really good, though. I mean, Kostriuk Sabalenka was a fun match last night. Draper's up 4-love. Anybody want to play a close match? No, didn't think so. All right, I'll see you guys soon. Gauff shocks Swiatek 6-1, 6-1. She's in the final of Madrid, and she's going to play either Svitolina or Sabalenka in that final. So we'll find out later who's gonna win out of that one. But yeah, we've got one of the men's semis up. We're gonna watch that tomorrow. Cerundolo taking on Rude. But I'll see you guys soon for the next semi-final for the ladies.